Hello, intro tubers, and welcome to a not the first episode of the series, but sort of an intro and maybe helpful guidelines slash tutorial to this game and how to watch it or how to understand some of it. So we're going to play Might Magic 7 for Blood and Honor, which is a game I think it was released in 1999, I think, 15 years ago, give or take. And we can call this episode 0. Episode 1 will actually start with the story, and we'll get into all that stuff. But for now, what I want to do is spend a little bit of time going over a little bit of the mechanics and some of the changes between 6 and 7. So assumedly, you may have watched my Might and Magic 6 series. Now, I was somewhat of a pro for that game because I played it quite a lot when I was younger. This one, not so much. So there's some new things and some changes and lots of similar stuff after all. And I am using the, I can't remember the guy. I can't remember the name of the patch, but I'll put a link in the description. It lets me use mouse move. I'll show you that stuff once we get in game, and double speed and stuff like that. It's a handy little patch. Anyway, I'll spend a minute here because we can actually see a good deal of the changes on this screen, the character create party screen. First off, we have 4 classes. Or 4 races, sorry. Let's put everyone on the same class so you can actually see the differences, basically. Actually, just clear everything. There we go. Thanks, game. So, if everyone was a knight, for instance, orcs would be a little bit stronger, but not as smart or friendly, I guess, and a little bit faster than a human, which is kind of the average base stat. Dwarves get might and endurance at the loss of accuracy and speed, and elves get intellect and accuracy at the loss of might and speed, or might and endurance. If you've forgotten, the basic idea is might gives you more damage in melee combat specifically. Intellect gives you more magic points, mana points, whatever you want to call them, for the elemental magics like sorcerers use, and like it said, a few other ones. Basically fire, air, water, earth, that kind of stuff. Personality is for the cleric stuff, mind, body, spirit. More MP for that. I think I don't know if the mechanics are vastly different than 6, but in Might Magic 6, it was just for MP, so having those stats just gave you more. And maybe some other boosts with other stuff, but I don't know. My knowledge is going to be a little bit less in this game. Endurance will give you more hit points. Accuracy will make you not miss. It's like your accuracy. It makes sense. It's a good name for stat, accuracy. And I'm pretty sure it counts for both melee and ranged combat. So it's not just for bows. It actually helps swords hit their mark as well. Speed is in regards to how quickly you get your turn. It does have, I guess it's kind of like an active time battle where each move takes so many ticks, and they don't get another turn until their sort of timer refills. You don't see it. It's all behind the scenes, but you can fight in turn-based again, or you can fight in real time. Either way, having a high speed will let you sort of get more actions. And luck, as far as I remember, is basically reduces damage from traps and something else. It's not that great as usual. Anyway, basic overview of stats. We've got the 4 races, and there's lots of different human pictures. There's only a few elf and a few dwarf, and a few goblins. There's like 4 male humans, 4 female humans, and then 2 of each for the others. Anyway, what I wanted to go over specifically here, while you guys are watching, is the main difference is there's now, well, 2 things, I guess. The skill system was redone. In Might Magic 6, it only went normal, expert, master. And if you could learn a skill, you could master it. So a knight would never be able to learn fire magic, but they could learn sword, axe, shield, spear, all that stuff. Any of those they could take to master, which was the highest in that game. This one adds a tier called Grandmaster, which adds even better bonuses, but not everyone can get it. And in fact, in this one, not everyone can even get to master or expert. So for instance, well, first off, I guess, what does that yellow mean? That means a promoted class can get that. So the knight himself cannot become a sword grandmaster, but as he plays through the promotion quests, whatever he turns into, I can't remember the names for this one, he will eventually be able to grandmaster tier his sword. It doesn't matter what race you are; it's all based on what class you've picked. So for instance, if you put this axe in there, he cannot take axe to Grandmaster. But perhaps, what's the one that can do that? Maybe it's the Ranger or something? Yeah, the Ranger happens to be the one that can do axe to Grandmaster, for instance. I have definitely not memorized which classes can get which skills to Grandmaster. I did a little bit of reading just so I had a basic idea. But it's kind of important to balance the party in this game, more so even than in Might Magic 6. Because, for instance, we relied in Might Magic 6 very heavily on things like the Merchant skill. Not everybody can get all the way up. Like maybe a Paladin or a Sorcerer can get normal or expert tier, but only the Cleric can get all the way to Grandmaster. So you have to be a little bit more balanced if you want to use those kind of skills. Now, if you want to play the game without those skills, I'm sure you can find a way. There are also some new skills like Arms Master, which looks to be just a straight up upgrade to melee attack. I guess the idea must have been in Might Magic 6 that swords and stuff just didn't do enough damage or something. So they added a whole new skill that just basically doesn't matter what weapon you use, as long as it's melee, it just makes it better. Faster, misses less often, and does more damage. And if you can get to Grandmaster like the Knight, double everything. So that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, like I said, I don't know all of them. Sorcerer obviously gets the mage elementy ones and the smarty farty type stuff like Identify. Identify Monster is new from Might Magic 6. I'm not 100% sure how that one will work, but you can kind of see that there. I'm not sure all of them. I think they're stealing now. So the Thief is a new class. I guess that's what I was going to do next. In Might Magic 6, there's only these 6 classes: Knight, Paladin, Ranger, Cleric, Druid. Actually, Ranger was called Archer, but whatever, same difference. And Druid and Sorcerer. And the idea was Knight was all sort of might-based, Cleric was the spirit, mind, body, Sorcerer was elemental, and then the other 3 were just sort of combos. You had Archer, which was Knight plus Sorcerer, Paladin, which was Knight plus Cleric, or Druid, which was Cleric plus Sorcerer. And they were kind of, half as good at each as the other. In this one, they added the 3 more, and I think Archer is technically still Knight plus Sorcerer. Ranger is like, I think it's kind of like a cross between Knight and Druid, so it can actually use elemental spells as well as mind, body. Like, it basically can do everything, but not terribly well other than Axe. So if I looked at, say, bodybuilding, that's for HP, it can only get up to Expert. Probably can do pretty good at bow, but still only up to Master. Arms Master, can get up to Expert. Disarm traps, Expert. It's probably, I think Ranger's the one that's got the most sort of Expert tier. So that's kind of it. Thief gets stealing and disarming. You can see that there better. And Perception, I think, to find secrets. Well, that's not the best. I'm not sure who gets the best Perception. I really enjoy Perception for just finding random loot. I guess the Archer's the one. Because that's, especially when you're new to a game, that's what's going to find you a whole bunch of cool stuff. But whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. For now, we're just sort of going over the basics. I've mostly decided on my party, but I'll save that for next video. I'm probably just going to go with a pretty balanced thing to start with. Is there anything else I want to go over with you guys while we're here? I'm going to need 4 names of 4 lucky subscribers. The Might Magic 6 one, oh, can I remember all the names? We had Pyro, Commander, Dozicles, and one more that I've completely forgotten because I'm a horrible Let's Player. Anyway, this time I'm going to let possibly 4 other people join in. Maybe some newer subscribers to the channel that enjoy the series and plan on sort of watching along, and you can be my minions. But anyway, I will probably pick a pretty standard party of something like Knight, Thief, Cleric, and Sorcerer, just because this is my first time playing through the game, and I want a kind of balanced party so I can get attack, magic, healing, and defense, offensive, melee, and Thief specifically for, I don't know how much stealing will do per se, because it probably affects your reputation pretty harshly, but we might try it out. There's also alchemy, that's right, another new one there. Forgot to show you that. Can't just mix all the potions automatically anymore. Anyway, so yeah, we'll have to we'll probably go with that party and we'll see how things go. Anyway, what I want to do is just So now, sorry, I gotta go back for a second. Let's just start with the default party quickly. And again, I'll just show you the basic overview. So I've got mouse look mod, basically lets me look around with my mouse. And then I've assigned the buttons to go left and right for strafing rather than turning. So it'll make my ability to go around a bit easier. And by default, caps lock switches back to mouse, which I don't think I had in Might and Magic 6 actually, which will make it easier to click on stuff. So we'll have our 4 party members, HP or hit points and spell points. The user interface is very similar. If you're familiar with Might and Magic 6, this isn't going to be vastly different. It should be pretty familiar. We've got, oh, what a nice fluffy dress for this orc, very lovely. We've got basically the same numbers. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure if the formula and mechanics behind the scenes are much different, but the numbers look very similar to me. New skills, the skill system's overhauled basically, so you can't just everybody get master or grandmaster. That's fine. I understand that the spells are a lot different than they used to be. I think, for instance, if I learn that one, the basic fire spell is Firebolt now. I think it used to be 1 to 4, but it cost more spell points or something like that. So the magic's been all rebalanced. I think it's overall supposed to be better, because in Might Magic 6 there was a lot of spells that didn't work, or just didn't work very well. They didn't have a good enough growth so that as you got your skill up, they actually did a better effect. And I think in this game they're kind of balanced a little bit better from what I understand. We'll see as we go. Like, for instance, if we look at heal, the basic healing spell, I was looking at this earlier, you can see as you get expert, master, grand, it actually does significantly increase the amount of healing. I think in Cure Wounds, or whatever it was called in Might Magic 6, it just was always a flat 5 plus 1 per skill, or 5 plus 2 per skill, and it never really got much better than that. So I like the looks of this. I'm actually really excited to play this game. And other than that, I mean, there's the normal pages. Did I show you everything? I mean, it's got the standard inventory screen where you can move stuff around, equip it just like before. Nothing too special there. What else was there to go over quick? This will show us all of the buffs we currently have. So these will be like resisting the elements, and these will be like, you know, attack up, defense up kind of spells. We'll have 2 companions. You can talk to them. We'll go over who this is later on. And of course the mini-map is always handy, as well as this is the same thing as before basically, so that's nothing new. Quests, again, this is very similar to before, so we won't need to go over that. Auto notes, I thought this was a really good feature in Might Magic 6, so I'm glad to see it back here, basically the same. And I'll probably be using this more this time around because, like I said, I don't know this game very well. Is there anything else? Time again, and that's it. So yeah, anyway, this video, that's about it for now. I'll give this video a couple days for anyone who wants to put their name in the jar. Again, I'd like it if people that were different than the last 4 and also want to watch through to the end of the series. It's probably going to take 60 or 70 episodes, rather than someone who just is going to watch one and then leave. So if that's all I ask, that's good enough. And then I'll give it maybe a couple days, 2 or 3 days, and if I get a whole bunch of responses, I'll just sort of random it or something, and we'll see who we get. Anything else? I think we're pretty much good. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Resting, food, gold. Oh, this is also one of the reasons I'm just doing this short little strange video here, is I want to make sure the audio's settings are good. It's really being finicky. I've got one more tick over is off. This is as low as it can go, and I've actually got my mixer settings for this game to be at 1% according to Windows. So if you can't hear the sound or the music, let me know, but the problem is basically if I turn it up to 2%, it's louder than my voice. So I'm having a little bit of a tough time. Hopefully this works out. I'll just go quickly run into a shop so someone talks at us.
Need a new weapon?
That'll be about the volume for the voice. And I do like these little animations. It's really nice, actually. This is such a good game for the time. I really wish I'd played this more when it came out. Anyway, I've been rambling on. 15 minutes is pretty good time for an intro video. If you've got any questions about the patch, the game, where to buy it at GOG.com, anything mechanic-wise that I've not been super clear on, I'll try to answer it in the comments as best as I can, or maybe someone who knows the game better than me can do it. I may have made a mistake, you know, I'm certainly willing to admit that much. But yeah, anyway, that's all. So 4 names. Oh, and you can, I didn't mention that. Quit, return, new game. I want to show you guys one more time. This is just one last thing. You can also ask for a portrait. That's fine. So you can give me your name and your portrait, and we'll number them off like this. So there are 2 orcs. There is male orc 1, male orc 2, and they also have their own voices. So that's your example. And we have female orc 1 and female orc 2. So you can just, if that's what you want, just say it. That's easy. And actually, well, I'm going to tell you right off. We're going to have orc knight, orc thief, human cleric, and elf sorcerer, because that's the one that gets the useful stats. So that's the 4 orcs. The humans go like this. We'll start
Choose me.
number 1. Sorry.
Choose me.
I'm your man.
Number 1.
Sally ho.
Male 2.
Choose me.
Male 3.
Please, pick me.
Male 4.
Pick me.
Female 1.
What could go wrong?
Female 2.
Choose me.
Female 3.
Choose me.
Female 4. So if you want to be the cleric, those are your 8 selections. Humans get the most pictures and voices, I guess. And then finally elves start from here.
Pick me.
That's male 1, I guess. Elves are kind of hard to tell.
Hey, right here, Chief.
That guy's definitely a North Pole elf. That's male 2.
I want in.
And female 1
Take me.
and female 2. So it'll I don't know how I'll choose people, but you know, if you've got preferences, let me know. If not, I'll just pick somebody randomly out of the pictures or whatever voice seems to work for me. But I figure we can have a little bit of viewer interaction, and I can at least drag 4 of you into the game, and that should work just fine. And from what I understand, this game's got a little bit more of a good versus evil decision-making process than Might Magic 6, where basically you just gave the church all your money and you were forgiven of whatever you did. So we'll see how things go. Anyway, I've gone on long enough, I think. Hopefully that covers the basics of how this game's going to work. Next episode, we'll start with the story, and I'll save you the trouble of designing my characters. I'll just show you sort of what I decided on in the long run. So that's all for now. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to playing this game. So see you next time.